The Grand Dame is back. Yes, Karen Huger makes a surprise appearance at the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 10 reunion. And who got the seats next to Andy Cohen? It might or might not surprise you. And Angel Massie did a few interviews this week while here for the reunion, and she's revealing that she felt like Ashley put out a dog whistle in regards to Bobby being an angry black man.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Don't forget, the Kempire After Dark live show will be returning to New York City on Friday, March 13th at the Green Room 42. Tickets are now on sale for in-person, but also meet and greet tickets and live stream tickets. So if you're not going to be in the New York City area, or if you are in another country, you can watch via the live stream. It's the only show that has access to a live stream, and this will be our only show for 2026. Get your tickets today if you haven't already. More information on the Kempire After Dark live experience will be available in the description. Let's talk about the interviews that Angel Massie did this week. So Angel Massie, I had a feeling that either the reunion was being filmed this week or she was going to be Watch What Happens Live. It might be both. But she did quite a few different interviews, including one on the radio show Way Up with Angela Yee. We're going to play a part of the interview because she talks a little bit about some of the things that played out during the season that has gotten fans confused about how they feel towards Angel. We're going to play this under fair use for research and journalistic purposes. All right, let me play for you. I'm going to stop and go so that you guys can hear my thoughts on what she had to say.
Last episode, the trip to Colorado, I will say I think you really shined on that episode because it feels like, did it take a while, you think, to adjust and get your footing and how to handle and deal with situations?
Well, I couldn't tell if people were acting or if they were being real or what was really happening. And I think that when I finally, because you see a lot of these women meeting up to talk about me, right? And so I'm not apprised to that situation happening. And so when I see them in person and the energy is weird, I'm like, well, what's happening? But finally, you know, Ashley tries to confront me with this whole eviction storyline. And that's really the first time, besides what Giselle did at dinner in Nevis, that somebody had said something to me, to my face. And so you see me reacting and you see me kind of taken aback. And then I'm like, oh, this is what's happening.
Well, let's talk about the eviction storyline that she had.
And as you can see, I arrived 2 hours late to Potomac and Pony because, number one, it wasn't in Potomac. It was almost at the top of Maryland. And it took us forever to get there because I made, in this new rental that we moved into, I made ham.
Was it at the top of Maryland? Is that closer to Carroll County where Dr. Wendy lives? Because remember, it was Wendy and Giselle hosting this event. Did they decide to have it at this particular space because it was closer for Wendy? Just asking the questions. I need to look at a map.
And made or from scratch cornbread and beans for the thing. So, you know, I'm in a new house, I'm ordering stuff. I'm like really trying to make this effort to be there to show that I want to be a part of the group.
And they also said your husband, Bobby, didn't want to be there because when he was called, he was like...
Yeah, he said, we'll get there when we get there. And I stand on that. And he should have said that. And they deserved it. They should have heard it. And then code switching Ashley is trying to dog whistle him being an aggressive black man. And I didn't appreciate that.
Okay.
She doesn't know him from Adam.
Yeah,
it's very
and
nasty.
I can feel that it's a party.
Okay, here's the thing. I agree with her because when we recapped that particular episode, we called that out because we were like, okay, Ashley, don't try and make it seem like Bobby is some sort of angry black man or that he's aggressive in any type of way because Bobby has never, based on what we've seen on the show, I don't know if there's been other instances, but based off of what they were talking about, I did not appreciate that. However, Angel, don't try and to switch up on us now because the things that you were saying about Dr. Wendy, about, I forgot the exact wording that she used, but remember when she was speaking with her sister and she was describing Dr. Wendy and I forgot the person she referred to. I can't think right now, y'all. I'm doing this very late. However, but you remember the episode that I'm talking about and you will chime in the comment section. And a lot of people called you out for colorism. Just saying. So I kind of look at her like, okay, yes, two things can be true. She was wrong for that, and you are wrong for this. I didn't see this full interview, so I don't know if Angela asked her about that as well. But I just wanted to at least point that out. I agree with Angel, but also, Angel, we're still looking at you for the way that you decided to come at Dr. Wendy in regards to her looks and what you were comparing it to.
You don't have to be there.
No.
Like, you can come late.
Yeah.
But it is okay to say, hey, we're running late.
Yeah.
When you know you're running late.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
I agree with you. I had what you didn't see is that two people had called me beforehand.
Okay.
Right before Kiarna called me. And then Kiarna was the third call. So by the third call, we were like, we are on the way. You know what I mean? Everyone knew that we were running behind.
And in all fairness, I believe her with that. Because nothing that they've given during the season, Bobby or Angel, has given frustrated. It sounded like they were frustrated. And I just, in that moment, I was like, okay, they're frustrated for a reason. We're watching an edited show. I think it's important to note that. And I'm glad she's clearing up. Well, two other people had called me. Now, this is the third call from Kiarna. Guys, we will get there when we get there. I get that frustration. And that's the vibe that I got from that instance. To me, that wasn't even a big thing. I didn't even think that should even be brought up at the reunion, but maybe they will. I'm sure they will, just to clear that up and why Bobby responded the way that he did. And I hope that Angel calls Ashley out at the reunion for that comment.
Several people there and said we were running behind. So we were running behind.
Yeah.
But you know, they
Happens
just
to me all the
wanted
time.
my ass to arrive early so that they could try to
Do you feel
shame
like
me
this is a
with that
hazing?
funky fish.
You feel like
know?
this is a hazing?
Absolutely.
You know, just this being your first season. It's like, okay, because one thing that has been said throughout the show is that they showed a whole montage of you saying, I just want to get to know the ladies better. I want to spend some time. And people were saying they didn't feel like you really did want to get to know them better.
Well,
So-
I did.
Okay.
I really did. And I tried hard. And I don't think that if I didn't want to get to know them, I wouldn't have invited them to my house more than one time after the first time when they acted up. Like, I wouldn't have shown up the way that I did. I wouldn't have tried so hard. And it's unfortunate because you don't, you know, it's only 44 minutes of the show. So you don't get to see scenes where I'm one-on-one with Stacey or where I'm one-on-one with Ashley, or where I'm inviting the women to more things than
Did
just
you mean
my
to call her
home.
Ashy? No, I'm just kidding.
She is Ashy. She is Ashy. Ashley. But yeah, you don't get to see those things, and that's unfortunate because it kind of looks like I was on an island by myself. But I was trying to get to know them. I mean, I remember during filming Giselle Lost Power, and I text her and I say, you know, if you want to come over to take a bath or do any of that stuff, please feel free, bring your kids. You know, invited Wendy to lunch with me so that we could hash out things on our own. I mean, gave Ashley a toolbox and said, look, I want to build a bridge to getting to know you. Like, I did the work, and that's why you see me feel so kind of really hurt at the mean girl antics and really the rejection when, to me, I've not done anything but act human, which is respond when someone is unkind to me. You know, and the funny thing is that Giselle, Ashley, and Wendy actually called me on FaceTime, and Giselle says, how are you doing? What's going on? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Why wouldn't I be okay? And she's leading up to trying to find out what's happening with me. But then I see this other scene where they're sitting around kikiing, and apparently Wendy knows this mystery realtor that I work with.
So you know who the realtor is that she.
This is an interesting portion of the story. I feel like, because this particular part, guys, you do not see until this week's episode. If you saw the preview for next week's episode, then you see basically that the evidence, the more information that Giselle claims that she has, is what Wendy revealed a couple of episodes ago, that she spoke to a realtor, and the realtor said that Angel wanted a place that looked like it was $50,000, but she was only willing to pay like $2,000 to $3,000. And a lot of you were saying, well, if any of that information is true, then that real estate agent is going to be in big trouble.
Talking about.
Yes.
Do you believe that realtor really said that?
She didn't. I talked to her. And see, that's what she didn't anticipate because she doesn't know
They
the
wanted you to call
relationships.
on the spot,
Yeah.
too.
But if you notice, Wendy immediately pipes up and says, Stacey, you didn't want to call TJ at the reunion,
Right.
did you? And I'm like, oh, okay, this didn't really happen. So when I talked to my friend, mind you, I've known this woman longer than Wendy has. She's an award-winning realtor. And she said, first of all, I would not put my career reputation on the line by discussing a client's needs or wants with Wendy. And number two, this conversation didn't happen.
Because that's not fair, because it also made her seem unprofessional. That was also what type of unprofessional realtor
exactly would talk about your business and with a commission on the line. You know what I mean? So I just feel, and larger than a commission, a reputation.
It's a new year, and I bet you have new ideas or a new plan or new goals for yourself. Well, Wix.com has got you covered when it comes to your website. Years ago, one of my very first websites was built by Wix.com. And even back then, I was like, they make it so easy to build your own website. Because I can tell you this already, I've paid lots of money before to have my website built by other people. Wix makes it easy for you, the everyday person that doesn't really understand how building a website happens. Wix makes it so easy, especially with some of their AI tools. So when I started my podcast and YouTube channel, I didn't know what I was getting myself into at all. Back then, we didn't have AI. It was just me, myself, and I doing every single thing. If I could go back in time, if I was starting my business today, I'd use Wix. There's so many really cool options that Wix has now available to you. You can create a website your way, whether you want to have AI to jump in or you prefer to do it yourself. Use the AI when you want or how you want. You can customize any detail with the most flexible website editor out there. Rest easy knowing that your Wix site is backed by 99.99 uptime and enterprise-grade security. No add-ons required. Built so that you can own your individuality, create freely, and scale fearlessly. As I mentioned before, they have really cool AI capabilities. Wix is packed with some of the coolest, most useful AI features and agents built specifically for SMB so that you can grow your business without burning out. And that is a powerful statement. Generate unlimited images, website sections, product descriptions, and more. Automate email marketing, SEO tasks, inventory management, and more. Enjoy easy, fuss-free domain registration, web hosting also included. Powered by 280 plus million businesses around the world. They're not new to this. They're true to this. Start delivering AI solutions way before it was cool. Wix has been pioneering in website tech for almost 20 years. Sign up for free at Wix.com. That's Wix.com. Head on over to the description for more details. So, look, a lot of the explanations that I've seen that she's mentioned in other interviews, they do make sense. They do make sense. But some people say that Angel is just not made for reality television. Some people say that Angel is too sensitive for reality television. We shall see. It really will depend. And a lot of people that have seen her interviews this week are saying, well, I hope she brings the same sort of energy to the reunion. Speaking of the reunion, let's get into the seating chart. So I started this off by letting you guys know that Karen Huger makes a surprise appearance at the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. I don't think it's that much of a surprise because we already knew via the mid-season trailer that they're doing a sit down with Karen. They are following her as she gets out of jail. So I wasn't completely surprised. I'm actually really excited now to see the reunion. If anything, this makes me even more excited because, and I know some of you are like, well, shouldn't the Wendy of it all be the most exciting part? Well, yeah, but how much is Wendy going to say? This situation, this insurance case hasn't even gone to trial yet. So I think what we're going to get from Wendy during this reunion is very much what she gave us during BravoCon. She can't talk about this and that these are just allegations. So I really do not expect Wendy to say much of anything. But that did still secure Wendy a seat next to Andy. And I know some of you that might be new to the Housewives things, you're like, why does it matter? It really shouldn't matter. But let me tell you this, based off of what I've heard from behind the scenes from different cities, it matters to the Housewives. It may not matter to myself. It may not matter to you. However, to these Housewives and to production, they do that intentionally. And a lot of times the person sitting next to Andy Cohen probably had the toughest season or is about to have the toughest season. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So let's take a look at the seating chart. And I think this might be the first time ever where they've done a video for the seating chart because I've been waiting all day. I was like, Andy posted that he's doing the reunion today. So where is the seating chart? So finally, they released the seating chart this evening, and he did it in video form. I wanted to show it to you, and then we're going to break down and react to this seating chart. Hold on. Okay, so let's react to this seating chart. Let me fast forward it so we get to everyone that's here. And for those that are watching this, please feel free to let me know if you think that they got it right when it comes to where everyone is sitting. I don't think anyone is surprised that Stacey Rush is sitting next to Andy. She had probably the toughest season because every single person on this cast. I'm actually surprised though that Ashley is sitting next to Stacey. But who would sit next to Stacey if Wendy wasn't sitting next to Andy? Because I honestly thought that Stacey would be sitting next to Andy, and at the very least, that Wendy would be sitting next to Stacey because they've been ride or die this season. But now I'm looking at a theme here, though, because Stacey and Wendy, because usually sometimes you see people sitting across from each other that are battling. No, Stacey and Wendy are cool. Giselle and Ashley are cool. Tia and Kiarna are cool. And I think the rest don't really matter. Okay. So Wendy and Stacey sit next to Andy Cohen. Stacey, obvious because of the tough season and everyone coming after her. It will be interesting to see how this interaction between Ashley and Stacey will go during the reunion. Honestly, I think I probably would switch. I probably would. Oh no. Now I know why they didn't switch. Because now I think about it. Because Ashley couldn't sit next to Wendy because remember what happened right after she was arrested. And since then, Ashley's done interviews and says, my apology really was for her children, not for Wendy. So that's probably why Giselle and this newfound friendship that Wendy and Giselle have. Tia, who was brought on by Giselle, sitting next to her. Monique is sitting there as, she's a friend of. Okay, on the other side, Kiarna is there. Okay, I think even if they put Kiarna at the end, Angel's technically at the end, and then Jazzy's all the way down. But Jazzy's just a friend of. Okay, let's take a look. Karen Huger, obviously, when she comes out, Jazzy's gone. Oh, damn, Jazzy, they got rid of you. Do you think that this is a setup for Monique to come back full-time next season? I don't think Monique wants to get full-time. She might want that full-time check. Yes, that Bravo check. But I don't think she wants full-time. Because then she's going to have to share more of her life. And then that makes her more of target for like a Giselle or Ashley to come for her. So, but they keep her out there because let's be honest, she's one of the people that have been there since Karen's been there as well. So it makes sense for her to still be out there. But Jazzy isn't. Oh, sorry, Jazzy. I think Jazzy, if they're going to bring anyone back of the friend ofs, I think Jazzy has good potential. I do. I definitely think. I'm not sure if I want to make her full-time just yet, but I definitely think she has potential. I would bring her back over Kiarna and Angel, to be honest. To be honest, I would bring her back. She's more fun. She seems like she gets along with mostly everyone. And I think she'll be able to move on. And I just think she'll be a lot more fun. Get rid of Angel and Kiarna and just bring back Jazzy, if I'm going to be honest with you. And now the fact that they're bringing back Karen Huger, that means the budget is not as big as it used to be, y'all. Just keep that in mind. Think about the budget. So Karen is sitting next to Andy, obviously. Karen hasn't always sat next to Andy, but for probably the majority of the reunions, she's definitely sat next to Andy. And even when she wasn't there last time, they put the picture right next to Andy. So Karen is going to make a surprise appearance. It will be interesting if they kind of go back to some of the things that she said from season 9 to address those things. I'm not surprised that she's there. I think it's perfect that she's there. This is going to make me more interested in watching this reunion. Do you think they'll bring her out in part 2, part 3? What dare I say, part 1? I don't see them bringing her out in part 1. I think they will focus a lot on what's happened during season 10 and then bring her out maybe late in part 2 as a sort of like a to be continued. You know, they love a good to be continued on RHOP. And I'm not saying that it's actually good. They just love using a to be continued. So I could see them doing that, bring her out in part 2, at the end of part 2, and then she'll be in part 3. I'm actually interested in to see what the rest of the season is going to be like. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Interesting. Do you think that they got this seating chart right, y'all? I think that they did, to be honest. I think Wendy had a really good season. Stacey, despite everyone coming at her, had a really good season, and she really rose to the occasion this season.
That's sad.
It's horrible. But still I rise, and I'll be all right.
And Karen, obviously, when she comes out, should be sitting right next to Andy because Karen is Karen. The Grand Dame is back. Are you happy about that? Some of you have said that you haven't really missed Karen during the season, but I've told you the tea on the street is that the cast felt like they did when they were filming the season because they felt like a lot of the other newbies were lackluster. You literally hear Giselle say that during the after show. We shall see. We shall see. Guys, as always, if you haven't already, go get your tickets for the Kempire After Dark live show. We'll be talking about things like this and so much more at the Kempire After Dark. One night only here in New York City on Friday, March 13th at the Green Room 42. In-person tickets, meet and greet tickets are available, and live stream tickets are available for those that want to watch from across the country or around the world. More information on that will be available in the description. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you never miss out on breaking news like this one and so much more. As always, thanks so much for watching.
Here we go.